Rain hammered the hospital parking lot as Maya Ellis, a veteran midwife with 20 years of calm hands and quiet courage, stepped out of her car. She was still in her scrubs, navy blue, smelling faintly of lavender lotion and newborn breath, when the spotlight hit her. A harsh white beam sliced across the darkness and froze her in place. "Ma'am," a voice barked through the rain, "state your reason for being on this property after hours." Maya knew that tone. Knew what was coming even before she turned toward the patrol car. Officer Cole Harlan stepped out, jaw tight, boots splashing. The way he looked at her, suspicion before recognition, threat before humanity, sent a cold ache through her ribs. "I'm on call," Maya said softly. "Emergency delivery." Harlan's hand hovered near his holster, absurd and terrifying. "In scrubs at midnight. But show me proof you work here." Maya swallowed. "I've delivered hundreds of babies in this building." He smirked. "And I've arrested plenty of people who said the same kind of thing. Don't try to play nurse." The rain thickened. Her badge lanyard slipped from her fingers, falling into a puddle. She reached for it, but Harlan stepped forward and kicked it away. Then he leaned in, close enough for her to smell the metallic tang of cold rain on his uniform. "You people always have a story," he whispered. "Tonight yours ends with me." A contraction wail echoed from the ER entrance. A terrified father shouting for help. Maya moved toward the sound, and Harlan's hand shot out, gripping her arm. The cliffhanger hung between them. Would he stop her from saving a life? Rain blurred the hospital's floodlights into trembling halos as Maya Ellis hurried across the asphalt, her sneakers slick against the ground. The emergency call still echoed in her mind. Mother in distress, fetal heartbeat unstable, 82 minutes. Maya was already late. Already running. She clutched her tote bag to her chest and quickened her steps. A blinding spotlight snapped on. "Ma'am," a voice barked. "Stop right there." Her breath caught. Not now. Not tonight. Officer Cole Harlan stepped from his patrol car, rain striking his shoulders like shards of glass. His boots splashed through puddles as he approached, posture stiff, hand resting near his holster. "You got business on this property?" he demanded. "Yes," Maya said carefully. "I'm a midwife. I was called in. In scrubs at midnight." He scoffed. "You expect me to believe that? I work here. In labor and delivery." She lifted her lanyard, but the wind flipped it backward, leaving the badge unreadable. Harlan shook his head. "Try again." "I don't have time for this," she said. "A patient needs me. And I need you to answer the question," he snapped. "Full name." "Maya Ellis." "Spell it." She exhaled. "Officer." "Spell it." Her pulse thudded. She spelled her name, voice tight. Harlan typed slowly on the small tablet attached to his vest, taking his time as rain soaked her scrubs. "Purpose of visit," he said again. "I told you. Emergency delivery. In the maternity ward." "Yes." He smirked. "Funny. You don't look like someone who belongs in there." The words stung more than the rain. "Let me through," she said. "Please." A door burst open at the ER entrance. A frantic man waved his arms. "Help! Someone help us!" Maya took a step toward him. Harlan blocked her path, one forearm raised. "I didn't clear you. You're stopping me from reaching a patient in crisis." "That's not my problem," he said. "My job is to protect this property. I work on this property." "Citation says otherwise," he muttered, still tapping on his tablet. "What citation?" "The one I'm writing if you don't calm down." She stared at him, soaked, furious, afraid, and aware every choice she made would be judged later. "Officer Harlan," she said quietly, "I've delivered over 300 babies in that building. Please let me do my job." He leaned closer, voice low. "People make things up all the time." Thunder cracked above them. The frantic father shouted again, desperation breaking his voice. "She's slipping, please. Anyone." Maya tried to move past Harlan, but he stepped sideways, blocking her again. Don't test me. You are risking someone's life. You're trespassing until I confirm otherwise. Her throat tightened. If anything happens to that mother, you'll be responsible. Harlan's jaw twitched. Careful. Threatening an officer is a chargeable offense. I'm stating a fact. A second nurse, Priya, ran toward them, ponytail whipping behind her. Maya, we need you now. Harlan turned. You know this woman. Yes. She's our senior midwife. Priya grabbed Maya's arm, pulling her forward. Harlan stepped back, startled but still scowling. You can't just, he began. Priya shot him a glare sharp enough to cut through the rain. If you stop her again, you can explain to the family why their baby didn't make it. Harlan stiffened. Maya didn't wait. She ran, legs trembling, heart pounding through layers of fear and fury. Inside the sliding doors, warmth hit her like a wall. Nurses rushed by. Monitors beeped. The father paced, tears streaking down his cheeks as he pointed toward the delivery room. She can't breathe right, please hurry. Maya reached for gloves, her hands shaking not from rush but from what had happened outside. Priya whispered, Are you okay? No, Maya breathed. But she needs me. They entered the delivery room. The world narrowed to one fragile heartbeat and the weight of every second lost. And somewhere in the parking lot, Officer Harlan watched the doors close, convinced he had done nothing wrong. The delivery room pulsed with frantic energy. Bright lights, sharp antiseptic smells, a monitor shrieking in panicked rhythm. Elena, a young woman no older than 22, lay drenched in sweat, her breath breaking into shallow gasps. A nurse wiped her forehead while another adjusted in 4. Maya snapped on gloves, her movements precise, but her mind bruised by the confrontation outside. She forced herself to focus, centering her breath. The father stumbled toward her. Where were you? She was screaming. Nobody knew if you were coming. Maya swallowed. I'm here now. I won't leave her side. But you weren't. Let me help her, Maya said gently but firmly. Elena's eyes fluttered open. Please. Please don't let anything happen to my baby. You're not alone, Maya whispered. I'm right here. The monitors flickered, heart rate dropping then spiking. Maya leaned over Elena, voice calm despite the storm inside. Okay, Elena. I need you to breathe with me. Low. In and out. Elena tried, trembling. A doctor entered, nodding at Maya. You're taking lead. Yes. How far is she dilated? 8 centimeters. Fetal distress increasing. The father paced in a tight circle. Is this because she waited too long? Should we have come earlier? No, Maya said. This isn't your fault. But he wasn't listening. His voice cracked. She kept asking for the midwife. They said you were on your way. Why weren't you? Priya stepped forward sharply. Stop. Let her work. Maya exhaled, steadying her hands. She checked positioning, coached breathing, reassured Elena through every tremor of pain. Minutes passed like stones grinding together. Baby's heart rate is unstable, the doctor murmured. I know, Maya whispered. Elena, look at me. You're strong. You're safe. I'm going to help you push when the time is right. Elena's hand shot out, gripping Maya's wrist. Don't leave me. I won't, Maya repeated. In the corner, the father rubbed his face, pacing again. Why didn't someone get her sooner? Why didn't you? Maya looked up at him briefly, absorbing the unspoken accusation. Because someone held me in the rain and treated me like a criminal. But she couldn't say that here. Not now. Focus on her, Maya said softly. She needs calm. The next contraction came violent and fast. Elena screamed, back arching. Maya held her steady, voice low and rhythmic. That's it. But you're doing beautifully. The monitor wailed again. Decelerations, the doctor said. We may need intervention. Not yet, Maya murmured. She can still deliver safely. She guided Elena carefully, adjusting her posture, shifting her hips, helping oxygen flow. The baby responded, heart rate climbing back up. Priya whispered behind Maya. You saved her. Maya didn't answer. She just kept working. After 15 tense minutes, hope returned to the room. Elena's breathing steadied. The baby's vitals stabilized. The crisis eased by degrees, like a storm slowly letting the sky breathe again. Finally the doctor nodded. Good recovery. Keep going, Maya. An hour later, a healthy baby girl's cry shattered the tension. The father collapsed into a chair, sobbing. Oh God, thank you, thank you. Elena wept too, whispering the baby's name against her chest. Maya felt her muscles loosen, exhaustion sweeping over her like a wave. Relief, gratitude, and the sharp edge of everything she had carried in alone. Priya squeezed her shoulder. You did it. Maya nodded weakly. She did it. I just guided. But the doctor approached, brow knotted. Maya, I need a word when you're done here. Her stomach tightened. Of course. Later in a small staff office. Maya sat across from Dr. Ramirez, the department chief. His face was careful, too careful. There's been a formal complaint, he said. Maya blinked. From whom? Elena's partner. He said your delay almost cost them their child. Maya inhaled sharply. I tried to enter immediately. I was stopped by. We'll get to that, Ramirez said quickly. The issue is timing. He's emotional, understandably. But this is now a documented incident. She clenched her hands. I wasn't late by choice. I assumed not. Ramirez sighed. But administration may ask questions. They want clarity before filing a full response. Then I'll tell them the truth. Beep. Ramirez avoided her eyes. They may not want certain kinds of conflict with law enforcement. Heat rose in her throat. Are you telling me to stay quiet? I'm telling you to think carefully. The hospital depends on cooperative relationships with the police department. Maya stared at him, pulse thudding. I'm supposed to take the blame for someone else's prejudice. I didn't say that. You implied it. Silence pressed between them. Maya, he said softly. We value you. But please, be diplomatic. Her voice cracked. A mother almost died because I wasn't allowed to walk into the building. Ramirez's gaze tightened. Document what you need to. But don't escalate unless you must. She rose slowly. Someone must. At the nurse's station. Priya leaned on the counter. How did it go? They're worried about the police, Maya murmured. Not about me. Priya clenched her jaw. Typical. Maya rubbed her eyes. What if something had happened to the baby? You saved her, Priya said firmly. But you shouldn't have had to save her from a delay caused by harassment. Maya's breath trembled. He didn't see me as a midwife. He didn't see me as anything. He saw you, Priya whispered. Just not the truth. Beat passed. Priya added. Document everything. Date, time, his exact words. I'll support you. Maya nodded. But before she could walk away, a voice drifted from behind them, one that froze her spine. Officer Harlan stood near the entrance, arms crossed, speaking to a security guard. Just doing my job, he said. She was uncooperative. I had reason to check her. The guard nodded awkwardly. Harlan's eyes slid toward Maya. A slow, thin smile crept across his face. Looks like we'll be seeing more of each other, he called out. Priya muttered. What now? Harlan tapped his tablet. Filing my report. Wouldn't want any misunderstandings. Maya's heart clenched. Because now she understood. This wasn't over. It had only begun. The conference room's fluorescent lights hummed faintly, casting a sterile glow over the rectangular table where Maya sat with her hands folded tightly in her lap. A glass of untouched water sat before her. Her pulse throbbed in her ears as the door opened and Marion Blake, the hospital's risk management director, entered with a stiff smile. Good morning, Maya, Marion said, sitting across from her. Dr. Ramirez will join us shortly. Maya nodded, swallowing the heaviness in her chest. I understand this is about the complaint. Yes. Routine procedure. Marian leafed through a folder, thick enough to unsettle Maya. We just need to clarify the timeline. The door opened again. Dr. Ramirez stepped in, expression apologetic but guarded. Let's begin, he said. Marian clasped her hands. First question. Why were you not in the building at the time the emergency call came through? Maya inhaled slowly. Because I was being stopped by Officer Cole Harland in the parking lot. Marian raised an eyebrow. Stopped, as in a casual inquiry. No, Maya replied, voice firm. He prevented me from entering. He questioned my right to be on the property. For how long? Marian asked. Several minutes. Long enough to worsen the patient's condition. Marian jotted something down. Did you explain that you worked here? Yes. Multiple times. And he still blocked you? Yes. Marian paused, tapping her pen. Did he physically restrain you? Maya hesitated. No. But he stood in my way. He implied I was trespassing. So no physical obstruction, Marian murmured, writing again. Maya clenched her fists. Verbal obstruction counts. He intimidated me, questioned my identity, and refused to let me pass. Dr. Ramirez interjected carefully. Maya, no one doubts your experience. But the hospital must ensure that any statement involving law enforcement is accurate. It is accurate, Maya said. Priya witnessed it. Marian adjusted her glasses. We spoke to her. Her account supports yours, but she used the word confrontation, not detainment. It doesn't matter what label you give it, Maya said, voice straining. He kept me from entering during a medical emergency. Marian's expression tightened. We don't want unnecessary conflict with the police department. They provide security for our grounds. So my safety, my professional credibility, is secondary? Maya whispered. No, Marian said quickly. But it's important we approach this delicately. Maya stared at her. A woman nearly lost her child. And thankfully she didn't, Marian replied. But we're talking about a complaint from the family, about you. Maya stiffened. Has the father been told why I was delayed? We felt it best not to mention law enforcement involvement until the facts were clear. They are clear. Marian closed the folder gently. We will review your written statement. For now, just keep working as usual. Maya's shoulders sank. That's it. For now, Marian said softly. The meeting ended. Marian shook Maya's hand politely, as though nothing consequential had been discussed. Ramirez avoided her eyes as he left the room. When Maya stepped into the hallway, the air felt too thin. In the break room, Priya found her leaning against the counter, staring at her reflection in the stainless steel refrigerator door. What did they say? Priya asked. That they don't want conflict, Maya muttered. Not with the police. Priya rolled her eyes. Typical. When it's your discomfort versus their convenience. Guess which wins? Maya let out a slow exhale. They want a written statement. Annotated. Nothing that creates friction. Are you going to give them that? Priya asked. No, Maya said. I'm going to tell the truth. Priya nodded firmly. Good. And Maya, document everything. Write down his words, your words, the time. Everything. Maya's gaze shifted to her trembling hands. I hate that I'm scared. You're not scared, Priya said softly. You're tired of being treated like you don't belong. A lump rose in Maya's throat. Is that so much to ask? To belong in the building where I bring life into the world? Priya smiled sadly. It should be the easiest thing. But for us, it's always another door to push through. Across town, police precinct. Officer Cole Harland leaned back in his chair while his supervisor, Sergeant Knox, skimmed through his incident report. Knox grunted approvingly. Good. Good wording here. Suspicious behavior on medical property after hours. That'll play well if the hospital complains. Harlan smirked. I was just doing my job, Sarge. Exactly. And we appreciate vigilance. Knox closed the file. Just so you know, there was a neutral inquiry sent from the hospital. Something about a timing dispute. Harlan's eyes narrowed. Neutral. What does that mean? They didn't file a formal complaint, Knox said. More like a question. Harlan scoffed. They should be thanking me. I was protecting their property. Knox shrugged. Still, someone over there wasn't happy. Just keep an eye out. Don't let them twist this. A muscle in Harlan's jaw tightened. Someone's trying to make trouble for me. Probably that midwife woman, Knox muttered. They get emotional when you call them out. Harlan felt a simmering irritation spread through him. I'll make sure she doesn't pull something like that again. Knox raised an eyebrow. Meaning? Harlan stood, straightening his vest. Meaning she needs to learn respect. Evening, Maya's apartment. Maya sat at her kitchen table with her laptop open, cursor blinking in a blank document titled Incident Statement. Her fingers hovered, frozen. She replayed the scene. The rain, the spotlight, the suspicion in Harlan's eyes. His voice stained with doubt. The father's desperate shouting. A delay. The danger. She finally typed. On the night of, I attempted to enter the hospital to attend a critical emergency delivery. I was stopped by Officer Cole Harland. But her hands began to tremble. She closed her eyes. Tell the truth, she reminded herself. Even if they don't want to hear it. Her phone buzzed. A message from Priya. You're not alone. Don't let them silence you. Maya let out a shaking breath and kept typing. Next morning, hospital entrance. As Maya approached the building, she noticed a figure leaning against a pillar. Harlan. He pushed off the wall when he saw her. Morning, he said. We need to talk. No, Maya replied. We don't. Harlan stepped closer. I heard you met with your bosses. Filing stories about me, huh? I told the truth. His smile thinned. Careful. Truth can get messy. She held her ground. So can abuse of power. Harlan's eyes flashed. You think you can paint me as the bad guy? I'm the one protecting this place. You stopped me from saving someone's life. You were suspicious, he snapped. You people always. He stopped himself, but the damage was done. Maya stared at him, heart pounding. You people. That tells me everything. For the first time, Harlan looked unsure. Defensive. Don't twist my words. I don't have to, she said. You said them clearly. She stepped past him, refusing to look back. Harlan watched her go, resentment darkening his expression. And in that moment, Maya understood. He wasn't finished with her. Not even close. The morning sun cast long gold streaks across the hospital parking lot, but Maya felt none of its warmth. She walked briskly toward the entrance, coffee in hand, mind rehearsing the day's tasks, until a police cruiser rolled slowly beside her, tires crunching gravel. The window slid down. Officer Harland. Morning, midwife, he said, voice oily. Got your ID on you this time. Maya didn't break stride. I'm not engaging with you. He crawled the cruiser forward to keep pace. That's an odd response for someone with nothing to hide. Please leave me alone. Well, that's the thing, he said. I can't. Not when your name popped up in a report yesterday. His grin widened. Seems like you're causing trouble. Maya stopped walking. You caused the trouble. Harlan shrugged. Depends who's writing the paperwork. She stepped back from the car, breathing slowly, refusing to give him the satisfaction of seeing her shaken. I'm going to work, she said. Do not follow me. Harlan rolled the window up half an inch, enough for her to hear him clearly. If you try anything else, I'll know. Then he drove off, headlights flashing just long enough to send a sharp pulse of humiliation into her ribs. Inside the hospital, Priya met her at the nurse's station. He was out there again, wasn't he? Yes. Unbelievable. Priya slammed a stack of charts onto the counter. He's obsessed. This is targeted. Maya swallowed. I feel like I'm being watched everywhere I go. You are, Priya said. And we need to document that. Again. Administrators won't want another report. Priya crossed her arms. Maya. Harland is escalating. If you let this go, he'll get worse. That's how people like him work. Maya looked down at her trembling fingers. I didn't become a midwife to fight police officers. Priya softened. No. But you did become one to protect people. That includes yourself. Later that afternoon. As Maya moved through the maternity ward, she felt eyes on her. Glances from security guards. Whispers among staff who had seen the videos from the parking lot confrontation. Some faces held sympathy. Others held doubt, maybe fear. Near the end of her shift, she stepped outside to breathe. The air crisp and cool. She barely had a moment before a familiar voice cut across the lot. There you are. Harland stood near the ambulance bay, clipboard in hand, pretending to review paperwork. Maya exhaled sharply. Why are you here? Routine patrol. This is a hospital, not a border crossing. Funny, he said. You acted like you were sneaking in last time. She turned to leave, but he stepped forward, blocking her path with subtle movement. You forged your credentials, he said quietly. Didn't you? Maya blinked. What? You heard me. Your badge looked fake that night. Anyone with a color printer could make that. That's a lie. It's a suspicion, he corrected smugly. And suspicion falls under my jurisdiction. Maya's breath hitched. You're spreading rumors about me? Not rumors. Concerns. He leaned closer. People are listening. Her voice shook. You're trying to destroy my reputation. You did that yourself when you challenged me. Maya's pulse spiked. You're abusing your power. He smiled without warmth. Power is only abuse if it's misused. It is being misused. Harland shrugged, gesturing to the patch on his shoulder. Badge says otherwise. A group of nurses stepped outside, their chatter dying instantly as they sensed the tension. Priya was among them. Maya, she called. You okay? Harland lifted his chin at the group. Just verifying employment records. Can't have unauthorized personnel wandering around. Priya's eyes narrowed. She works here. She's worked here longer than half the staff. Harland waved his clipboard lazily. Still need to confirm shifts. Maya felt heat flood her cheeks. Why only mine? Why never anyone else's? He paused, expression sharpening. Some people require more attention. Priya stepped closer. We're done here. Leave her alone. Harland smirked at Maya one last time. I'll be seeing you again. He walked away, boots echoing on the pavement. Priya grabbed Maya's arm. I'm filing a report with hospital security. This is unacceptable. Security can't stop him, Maya whispered. His authority sits above theirs. Then we escalate it. How? Administration already warned me not to cause problems. Priya shook her head. You didn't cause anything. He's the one who's out of control. Inside the administrator's office. But when they brought the issue to Marion Blake, she looked pained but firm. Officer Harland is assigned to this district, Marion said. We can't interfere with police protocol. Priya exploded. Protocol. He's stalking her. Priya, please, Marion said. We're trying to maintain a cooperative relationship with law enforcement. If we antagonize the department, they may restrict patrol coverage. And what about Maya's safety? Priya demanded. Marion inhaled slowly. We'll note your concerns. That's all. Maya asked, her voice cracking. For now, Marion replied. Just keep interactions civil. Maya stared at her, feeling something inside her wilt. Civil. As though civility protected anyone from violence wielded politely. When they stepped out, Priya muttered. They're afraid of him. Everyone is, Maya whispered. 2 days later, parking lot. Maya was leaving after a long shift when she spotted Harland again, leaning against his cruiser, arms folded. He straightened when she appeared. "Leaving late," he said. "Suspicious." Maya exhaled. "I don't owe you conversation. You owe me respect." "I owe you nothing." Harland stepped forward, lowering his voice. "You think because your bosses listen to you, you can make false claims. I read your statement." Maya froze. "How?" Harland smirked. "People talk. That's confidential." "Nothing is confidential when it involves me. You should have kept quiet." Her chest tightened. "You're threatening me." Harland leaned close enough that she could see the raindrops on his eyelashes. "I'm reminding you that actions have consequences." A bystander near the sidewalk paused, sensing conflict. Another lifted a phone subtly, recording. Harland noticed and immediately changed posture. Straightened, professional, neutral. "Just advising Ms. Ellis about proper ID procedures," he said loudly. Anger flared in Maya's throat. "Stop lying." He kept smiling at the cameras. "Be safe tonight, ma'am." Then he walked away, leaving her standing in a swirl of humiliation, fury, and fear. Priya appeared moments later, having seen the last part. "He's losing control," she said. "This is escalation. You need real protection." Maya's voice shook. "From who?" Priya placed a hand on her back. "Internal affairs. Lawyer. Someone who can hold him accountable." Maya pressed a trembling hand to her mouth. She had delivered hundreds of babies, comforted terrified parents, handled life and death decisions calmly. Yet her hands had never shaken like this. This wasn't just harassment. It was a tightening noose. And she knew with chilling clarity. Harland didn't intend to stop. Not until he broke her. Maya sat across from the attorney in a cramped office above a strip mall. The walls were lined with case files stacked like neglected tombstones. The attorney, Leah Porter, didn't sugarcoat anything. "I'm going to be honest," Leah said, sliding her glasses up the bridge of her nose. "What you're describing is harassment, intimidation, and targeted misconduct. But cases involving police officers are rarely straightforward." Maya clasped her hands tightly. "I don't want revenge. I just want him to stop." Leah nodded. "Stopping him may require going public, documenting every incident, and preparing for institutional pushback. Are you ready for that?" Maya hesitated. "I'm tired. I don't feel ready for anything." "That's fair." Leah opened a notebook. "Let's start with the timeline. Tell me exactly what happened the night he stopped you." Maya exhaled shakily and recounted every detail. The rain, the spotlight, the accusation, the blocked entrance, the terrified father calling for help. Leah scribbled rapidly. "That alone is grounds for a complaint." "But he keeps escalating," Maya whispered. "Following me. Showing up at the hospital. Accusing me of forging credentials." Leah looked up sharply. "He said that." "Yes. Good. Keep documenting. Record interactions when safe. And tell your hospital's HR again. Create a paper trail." Maya's shoulders drooped. "They don't want conflict with the police." "Then force their hand," Leah said. "Institutions move only when pressure leaves them no choice." Maya swallowed hard. "What if he retaliates?" Leah paused, voice steady. "He already is." Those words sat heavy as stone. Outside the attorney's office, Priya waited in her car, engine humming softly. When Maya slid into the passenger seat, Priya immediately placed a hand on her knee. "How did it go?" "Hard," Maya murmured. "But helpful." Priya nodded. "He showed up again this morning. Lingered near the ambulance bay. Security said he was monitoring traffic." "He's hunting." Maya stared through the windshield. "Leah said I need to record everything. Even if they don't want to hear it." Priya tightened her grip on the wheel. "Good. Because at this point, the truth might be the only thing that protects you." Later that evening, hospital parking lot. The lot glowed orange under the setting sun. Maya had just ended a long shift. 4 deliveries, 1 postpartum hemorrhage, and a newborn who came into the world screaming like a tiny lion. She was bone-tired. She just wanted to go home, shower, breathe. But as she stepped into the lot, she froze. Harland leaned against his cruiser, arms crossed, waiting like a shadow that refused to move with the light. Her pulse thrummed. "Evening," he said. Maya swallowed. "You need to leave me alone." "That's funny," Harland said. "I keep hearing you've been telling people stories about me." "I've been telling the truth." He chuckled, pushing off the car. "Truth. Interesting word. Yours sounds a lot like slander." "This isn't a joke." "No," he said softly, stepping closer. "It's not." Maya took a step back. "Stop following me." "Can't," he said. "I'm on patrol. You're off your route." He leaned close enough that she could feel his breath. "My route is wherever I say it is." Her stomach twisted. "You're intimidating me." "Show me one piece of proof," he said. "One thing that says I've done anything wrong." Maya's voice shook. "I have my statement, and you were seen." "Seen by who?" "Your little nurse friend." His lip curled. "People talk. People exaggerate. And people lie." "I'm not lying." He lowered his voice to a venom-soaked whisper. "Lady, you're one accusation away from losing your job." Her breath hitched. "Excuse me. Think about it. A complaint from a police officer. A claim that you were aggressive, disrespectful, non-compliant." He shrugged. "Administration will fold." Rage flashed through her chest. "You're threatening my livelihood." "I'm protecting this hospital," he said calmly. "From people who think they're untouchable." "You're trying to break me." Harland's jaw twitched, revealing the truth behind his smug veneer. "I'm reminding you," he said, "that you're not above scrutiny." Maya opened her mouth to respond, but a shout cut through the air. "Hey! Step away from her." A hospital security guard jogged toward them. Marcus, tall, broad-shouldered, frowning. Harland stepped back instantly, slipping into professionalism like a mask. "Nothing to worry about, officer. Just clarifying protocol." Marcus planted himself between them. "Not your jurisdiction." Harland smirked. "Everything here is my jurisdiction." "Not her," Marcus said firmly. Harland scoffed. "You're way out of your depth." "Funny," Marcus said. "I was about to say the same to you." Harland's expression flickered. Annoyance, surprise, calculation. He stepped back. "Careful," he said quietly to Maya. "Friends won't protect you forever." Then he turned and walked away, the click of his boots echoing far too loudly. Security office. 10 minutes later. Marcus typed into an incident report while Maya sat opposite him, hands trembling. "You okay?" he asked. "No," Maya whispered. "But thank you for stepping in." "He crossed the line," Marcus said. "I heard his tone. He wasn't just enforcing the law. He was trying to scare you." Maya looked down. "He's succeeding." Marcus paused typing. "Do you want to file a formal complaint with hospital security? They said they don't want conflict with the police." Marcus sighed. "Yeah. I know how it works." He hesitated. "But I'll file this incident. My report stands whether the administration acts or not." "Will that put you in danger?" Maya asked quietly. Marcus gave a faint smile. "Danger is part of the job. What he's doing to you isn't." Maya swallowed. "Thank you." That night, Maya's apartment. Maya sat at her kitchen table once more, laptop open. The apartment was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the faint ticking of the wall clock. She opened a new document titled, "Harland Record, Full Timeline." She typed, "He confronted me again today. Approached me in the parking lot. Accused me of lying. Suggested my job was at risk." Marcus intervened. Felt afraid. Her hands trembled. She added, "This is harassment, and I have to fight it." Her fingers froze when her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. Ms. Ellis, a voice said. This is Leah. I just received a message. Internal Affairs reached out to me. Maya's heart lurched. Already? Yes. Someone filed a concern about possible misconduct from Officer Harland. It wasn't you, was it? No, Maya said softly. Leah inhaled. Then someone else saw something. Hope flickered, small, fragile, unexpected. But before she could speak, her phone chimed with a hospital alert. Another emergency delivery. Priya texted, come quick. Complicated case. Harland is stationed outside again. Maya closed her eyes. Her fear and exhaustion mixed into something sharper. Something almost like resolve. She grabbed her keys. This ends, she whispered to herself. Tonight. And she walked out the door. Night had settled over the hospital in a sheet of blue shadow, the air damp and cold. As Maya stepped out of her car, she saw him immediately. Officer Harland, standing beneath the street lamp like he'd been carved out of the darkness just for her. He straightened when she appeared. Oh look, he called. My favorite late-night visitor. Maya gripped her phone in her pocket, thumb hovering over the record button. She kept walking. Hold up, Harland said, stepping into her path. We're not done here. Maya didn't break stride. Move. Not until you answer a few questions. She lifted her phone and tapped record. Harland frowned. Really? That's what we're doing now? You leave me no choice. He scoffed. Put that away. You can't film officers while they're performing duties. Yes, I can, Maya said calmly. It's my right. Harland looked momentarily thrown, but only for a second. Fine, he said coldly. Film this. Why are you arriving late again? Suspicious behavior. Pattern of misconduct. I'm here for an emergency delivery. Move. What emergency? I didn't hear any call. You're not hospital staff, Maya snapped. You don't get to know. Harland leaned closer, voice dropping to a threat. Or maybe you're creating drama to cover the fact you're slipping. Complaints piling up. People questioning your competence. Maya steadied her breath. Stop lying. That father from last week filed a second complaint. Said you were irresponsible. Her chest tightened, but she didn't look away. You caused the delay. Harland shrugged. Depends who they believe. Not you. Oh, they will. He smirked. I'm the officer. You're just. He let the sentence hang unfinished but loaded. Maya hit save on the recording. Thank you for that. Harland's smirk faltered. For what? For confirming everything I need. She stepped around him, heading toward the hospital doors. But Harland grabbed her arm. You're not walking away from me. Maya froze. The grip wasn't brutal, but it was possessive, claiming. Let go, she said, forcing calm into her voice. I'm detaining you. For what? Maya demanded. For non-compliance. That isn't a crime. It is when I say so. Her heart thudded hard. Let go. He didn't. Inside the ER, Priya spotted them through the glass and ran outside. Officer! Release her. Harland kept his grip for one more stubborn heartbeat, then released her slowly, turning toward Priya with feigned innocence. She was being evasive, he said. I needed to verify her reason for being here. Priya stepped in front of Maya. She's the midwife assigned for a high-risk delivery. You're obstructing medical care. Harland rolled his eyes. She likes that word, obstructing. Uses it every time she doesn't get her way. Maya raised her phone again. Say that again. Harland stiffened. What are you trying to do? Set me up. No, Maya said. You're doing that yourself. Two other nurses stepped outside, tension thick in the air. Staff whispered from behind the glass. Harland's authority didn't feel invincible anymore. It felt brittle. I'm going inside, Maya said, breathing hard. If you stop me again, you'll be recorded doing it. He turned away. This time, Harland didn't follow. Inside the hospital delivery room, the emergency was already underway. A mother expecting twins lay trembling, contractions erratic, blood pressure rising dangerously. The partner paced at the foot of the bed. "Where's the midwife? They said she's coming." Maya rushed in. "I'm here." Relief washed across the partner's face. "Please, she's in so much pain. They said one baby might be struggling." "Let me see her," Maya said, voice instantly shifting into professional command. The scene tightened into focus. Monitors flashing, nurses working quickly, fear thick in the room. "We've got twin-to-twin transfusion risk," a doctor murmured. "We need steady coordination." Maya moved closer to the mother, who sobbed through a contraction. "Hi, sweetheart," Maya said softly. "I'm Maya. I've got you now." The mother choked out. Am I going to lose them?" "No," Maya said gently. "We're going to do this together. One breath at a time." She coached breathing, adjusted positioning, monitored vitals. Minutes blurred into a tense dance of commands and reassurance. But Maya was steady, calm, present, grounding everyone in the room. "Okay," she said finally. "Time to push. You can do this." The mother pushed. Once. A cry tore through the room, thin but alive. The first twin. "Good girl," Maya whispered, tears stinging her eyes. Moments later, after a terrifying pause, the second cry came. Stronger, richer. Both babies alive and breathing. The room erupted with relieved sobs. The mother wept into Maya's chest. "You saved them. You saved them." Maya hugged her gently. "You saved them. I just helped." Priya wiped her eyes. "You're unbelievable." Maya exhaled shakily. "Thank you." But even as joy filled the room, she felt the ghost of Harlan's hand on her arm, the echo of his threat in her ear. Something inside her hardened. This wasn't survival anymore. This was resistance. Later nurses' station. As Maya charted notes, a hospital administrator ran in breathlessly. "Maya, there are 2 internal affairs officers in the lobby asking for you." Maya froze. "For me?" Priya's eyes widened. "Already?" The administrator nodded. "They said it concerns Officer Harlan." A tremor ran through Maya's chest. Not fear. Something sharper. "They want to hear your side," the administrator continued. "They've already spoken to a few staff members." Priya whispered. "Someone reported him. Someone besides you." Maya swallowed. "Maybe someone recorded tonight's interaction." Priya nodded. "Good. The truth is finally pushing back." Meanwhile, outside near the patrol car, Harlan leaned against his cruiser, scrolling through messages on his tablet. A notification blinked. Internal Affairs. Investigation initiated. Contact immediately. He stiffened. What the hell? He reread it, heart slamming into his ribs. No. No, no, no. His supervisor's earlier warning returned like a punch. He slammed the tablet shut. "This is her," he muttered. "She's doing this. She's ruining me." But deep down, under layers of denial, fear crept in. For the first time, he felt the fragile edges of his authority crack. Hospital lobby. Maya approached the 2 IA officers, one older, composed, and the other younger but alert. "Ms. Ellis," the older one said. "I'm Investigator Hale, and this is Investigator Rios. We're reviewing allegations of misconduct involving Officer Cole Harlan." Maya nodded, voice steady. "I'm ready to give my statement." Hale studied her carefully. "Before we begin, you should know something. We've received not only staff testimonies, but also a video recording from a bystander. It aligns with what we've heard so far." Maya felt her knees weaken. She wasn't alone. Hale continued. "We intend to pursue this fully. Tonight's incident was the tipping point." Maya inhaled deeply. "Then I'm ready. Ask anything." As they began the questioning, Priya placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. "See," she whispered. He's not untouchable. But Maya wasn't celebrating. Not yet. She knew something Harland didn't. The truth doesn't just expose. Changes everything. And something was coming. Something Harland couldn't imagine. Morning light filtered through the hospital lobby windows in soft, fractured rays. Maya sat across from the internal affairs investigators at a small table in a private consultation room. Her posture was straight, hands folded to hide their trembling. Investigator Hale clicked his pen. "Thank you for your detailed statement. The timestamps, descriptions, and the recorded audio are all extremely helpful." Maya nodded quietly. Investigator Rios added, "We're also reviewing surveillance footage and multiple witness accounts from staff members. This case is developing quickly." Maya inhaled slowly. "Is he being questioned today?" "Yes," Hale said. "He's already on his way." A knot tightened in Maya's throat. She wasn't afraid of seeing Harland anymore. But she wasn't eager for it either. Not after the nights of trembling, the pressure on her chest, the fear that had shadowed every shift. "Before we bring him in," Hale continued, "there's one more area we need to clarify." Rios flipped through paperwork. "Your employment history here is extensive. 8 years in this hospital, correct?" "Yes. And before that, 4 years at St. Joseph's. 2 at Ridgeview." Rios nodded. "We're confirming patient logs and cross-referencing incident timelines. Everything matches." Maya blinked. "Why wouldn't it?" Hale leaned forward, voice calm. "Because Officer Harland filed statements implying you falsified your credentials." Maya stiffened. "That's a lie." "We know," Hale said. Rios gave a reassuring nod. "It didn't hold up under review. Your credentials are valid and well documented." The knot in Maya's chest loosened slightly. A knock sounded on the door. A hospital administrator, Dr. Lanning, poked her head in. "Investigators," she said. "Officer Harland is here. He's agitated." Hale exchanged a glance with Rios. "Bring him in." Harland enters. The door opened wider, and Harland stepped in. He looked nothing like the towering, smirking figure who had stalked her for days. His uniform was crisp, but his face was tight. His eyes flickering with nerves he tried desperately to hide. His gaze shot to Maya immediately. "You," he said through clenched teeth. "You did this." Hale held up a hand. "Officer Harland, sit down." Harland ignored them. "You think you can ruin me? Make false accusations? You think your word is stronger than mine?" Maya met his stare, unflinching. "I told the truth." Harland's jaw twitched. "Your truth. Not the truth." Hale spoke firmly. "Officer, if you can't remain professional, we will suspend this meeting and document your non-compliance." Harland sucked in a breath, sat, but his glare never wavered. "Let's begin," Hale said. "We've gathered testimony, video evidence, and audio recordings. The pattern of harassment." "There was no harassment," Harland snapped. "She was suspicious. I acted within protocol." Rios opened a file. "We reviewed your protocol directives. None justify obstructing medical access during an active emergency." Harland scoffed. "She always plays victim." That night, she wasn't even wearing proper ID. Maya's voice tightened. You kicked it away." "That's not how I remember it." Rios slid a paper across the table. "Footage says otherwise." Harland stared at it, paling slightly. Hale continued, voice firm but even. "Officer, we need you to understand that the evidence reflects repeated targeting. This isn't an isolated event." Harland leaned forward, fury simmering under his skin. "You know what the problem is. People like her." Rios held up a hand sharply. "Finish that sentence carefully." Harland froze. Maya's heart hammered. She could feel the room tightening around him, the investigation closing in. But she also sensed something else, something shifting beneath the surface. A ripple of recognition. A question forming behind Hale's eyes. Officer Harland, Hale said slowly. Your personnel file mentions your children. 2 of them, correct? Harland looked confused. What does that have to do with anything? Rios glanced at Maya. Your children were born at the old Riverbend clinic, right? Yeah, years ago. Why? Maya's breath caught. A nurse, Nurse Geraldine, older, gray-haired, wise, stepped into the doorway holding a clipboard. Her voice was soft but firm. Because Maya was the midwife on duty that night. The room dropped into stunned silence. Harland blinked. What? Geraldine stepped farther in, turning pages. I checked the delivery logs. Your wife was admitted 12 years ago, complications with blood pressure. There were distress signs with your son, correct? Harland's mouth slowly fell open. Maya was the one who stayed with your wife for 8 hours. Maya was the one who stabilized her. Maya was the one who caught your son when he arrived too fast for the doctor to get there. Maya felt her stomach twist. I didn't know. Harland stared at her as though seeing her through fractured glass. That's impossible, he muttered. I never saw you that night. Maya swallowed. I didn't meet you. You were out of the room. But yes, I delivered your son. And your daughter. She came 30 minutes later. Harland's breath hitched. No, you're lying. Rios turned the clipboard toward him. Hospital records. All verified. Harland stared at the document like it was written in a language he couldn't comprehend. Hale spoke gently. Officer Harland. The woman you've been harassing, accusing, obstructing. She's the same person who helped bring your children into the world. Harland's face crumpled, disbelief collapsing into something raw. Fear, shame, horror. How? He swallowed hard. How could you be her? How could a black woman be the one who saved your family? Maya said quietly. Harland flinched like she'd struck him. I didn't, his voice faltered. Rios leaned forward. Officer, this revelation underscores the personal bias driving your actions. You treated her as lesser, as a threat, as someone you could intimidate, all while she once protected the people you love most. Harland's eyes shone, not with tears but panic. I didn't know. I didn't recognize her. It was years ago. And if you had known? Maya asked softly. Harland swallowed. I don't know. Yes, Maya said. You do. Silence swept the room like a cold wind. Geraldine shook her head gently. You owe this woman everything. But instead you nearly destroyed her. Harland dropped into his chair, face in his hands. His voice broke just once. I didn't know. Maya felt no satisfaction. No triumph. Only exhaustion. Deep bone-heavy exhaustion. After the interrogation, Harland was escorted to another room for further questioning. As he passed Maya, he stopped, eyes red, voice hoarse. I never meant, he whispered. I never would have if I had known. Maya cut him off softly. That's the problem. You needed to know my worth before you could see my humanity. Harland's face contorted. He turned away. Later, the nursery. The hospital nursery glowed with soft pastel light. Newborns slept in warm cribs, tiny breaths rising and falling like fragile promises. Maya stood by the window, arms folded, staring at the babies as though gathering strength from their innocence. Priya approached quietly. You okay? No, Maya whispered. But I'm here. Priya leaned against the window beside her. Words spreading. People are shocked. They shouldn't be, Maya said. This happens all the time. They just happened to see this one. Priya touched her shoulder gently. The truth came out. And he can't bury you now. Maya's eyes glistened. I don't want to bury him either. I know, Priya said softly. But accountability isn't cruelty. It's justice. Maya closed her eyes. They could have died, she murmured. His children. His wife. And I stayed with them. I gave everything I had. And years later, he saw nothing in me but suspicion. Priya whispered. That's why the truth matters. A small cry broke from a crib nearby. Maya stepped over instinctively, lifting the newborn gently, her hands steady, practiced, loving. The baby quieted instantly. Priya watched her with a soft smile. This is who you are. Not what he tried to make you feel. Maya nodded faintly. This is who I'll always be. Across the hospital, Harland sat alone in a small interrogation room, head in his hands, the weight of truth suffocating him. Every memory of that old delivery room. His wife's tears, the fear in his chest, the relief when the baby cried, flooded back with brutal clarity. And now he knew whose hands had saved his world. He had tried to destroy the very woman who had once held his family together. His authority, his reputation, his denial, all were collapsing. And for the first time he felt the full, unbearable weight of what he had done. The sky outside the hospital was a faded watercolor of pale pink and early morning gold when Maya arrived the next day. She'd barely slept. She'd held her phone all night, waiting for news, waiting for some sign of what would happen to Officer Harland now that the truth had broken everything open. When she stepped through the main doors, whispers followed her like drifting smoke. That's her. She delivered his kids. They said he broke down in the room. Internal Affairs is still here. Maya kept walking, posture straight, choosing dignity over reaction. Priya met her near the elevators. They want you in the HR conference room. Now? Maya asked softly. Priya nodded. Now. Inside the conference room, Dr. Lanning, Marion Blake, two internal affairs investigators, Hale and Rios, and a hospital legal representative sat in a half-circle. The atmosphere was tense, procedural, and unmistakably serious. Maya, Marion said gently, thank you for coming in. Maya took a seat, hands folded. Hale spoke first. Officer Harland has been relieved of duty pending termination. His badge and firearm were confiscated last night. Maya stared at him, the words settling like warm stones at the base of her spine. Rios continued. He is facing charges of misconduct, obstruction of medical care, harassment, and abuse of authority. Marion inhaled. The hospital is cooperating fully with the investigation. We've submitted all relevant footage and statements. Maya nodded slowly. And what about the complaint filed against me? Dr. Lanning cleared his throat, looking genuinely remorseful. It's been dismissed. Completely. We apologized to the father and clarified the circumstances of the delay. Maya blinked hard. Thank you. Maya, Hale said quietly. Your courage in documenting everything was crucial. Without your recordings and the witnesses, this would have been buried. Maya swallowed. I didn't feel brave. You were, Hale said. Most people never confront an officer who abuses power. You stood your ground. Maya felt her breath tremble. I just wanted him to stop. Rios folded her hands. He will never be your problem again. Silence held the room for a long second. Marion finally spoke, tone softened. On behalf of the hospital, Maya, we failed you. We should have supported you earlier. We should have taken your first report seriously. Maya stared at her. Why didn't you? Marion's lips tightened. Fear. Institutional habit. Politics. Pick any reason. None of them are good enough. Maya's eyes burned. I needed protection. I was being followed, threatened, treated like I didn't belong here. Marion lowered her head. We were wrong. No excuses. No deflection. Just the truth. It wasn't healing, not yet, but it was something like acknowledgement. Hill stood. There's one more matter. Officer Harland has requested to speak with you privately. Maya's stomach tightened. I don't want to. That is absolutely your choice, Hale said. We can deny the request. Maya swallowed. Where is he now? Downstairs, Rios said. In a secured room. Maya closed her eyes. She didn't owe him anything, but she wanted to hear what he thought he could possibly say. 5 minutes, she whispered. Nothing more. The secured room. The room was dim, clinical, with a metal table in the center. Harlan sat chained to a handcuff bracket, not fully restrained, but enough to prevent sudden movement. His uniform was gone. He wore plain clothes, wrinkled, unfamiliar. His face was drawn, eyes hollow. When Maya entered, he stood instinctively, then sank back down when the cuff tugged his wrist. "Maya," he began, voice cracked from sleeplessness. She said nothing. Harlan took a long breath. "I didn't know." "I know," Maya said. "That's the part that terrifies me." He blinked. "What?" "You only see people's humanity if it benefits you," she said softly. "If they fit your expectations. If they look like someone worth respecting." "That's not." "Yes," she cut in. "It is." Harlan stared at the floor. I can't justify what I did. I don't even know how it got this far." "Yes, you do," Maya said. "Because it didn't start with me. It started the first time you decided certain people were threats before they ever spoke." Harlan's lips trembled. "I wasn't. I'm not racist." Maya gave a small, sorrowful nod, not agreeing but acknowledging the familiar phrase. "You don't have to say the word to live inside it," she replied. Harlan's face contorted. "I ruined my career." "You ruined yourself," she said quietly, "by refusing to see who I was. Who anyone was." Harlan met her eyes. Vulnerable, desperate. "I'm sorry." Maya's breath hitched. Not from sympathy, but from the weight of everything that apology could never fix. "You're sorry now," she said. "But remorse after consequences isn't the same as accountability." Harlan flinched. "I don't forgive you," Maya continued gently. "But I don't hate you either. You're not powerful anymore. You're just a man who has to live with what he's done." Harlan's shoulders collapsed inward. Maya turned toward the door. "Wait," he whispered. "Please." He paused. "My kids," he said softly. "You brought them into the world. I treated you like nothing," she finished. He closed his eyes. "I'm so sorry." Maya nodded once, not accepting, not rejecting, just acknowledging. "You need to do something with that remorse," she said. "Something real. Something that doesn't involve me." She stepped out of the room without looking back. Later, the maternity ward. Elena, the young mother from Chapter 2, appeared with her newborn daughter swaddled against her chest. "Maya!" Elena rushed toward her. "I heard everything. The nurses told me what happened." Maya blinked. "You didn't need to come in." "I did," Elena insisted. "I blamed you. I judged you without knowing the truth." Maya shook her head. "You were scared. You didn't know what delayed me." Elena's eyes filled with tears. "You saved my daughter's life. And someone tried to punish you for it." "It's over now," Maya murmured. Elena hugged her tightly. "Thank you. For everything." Maya held the baby gently, letting the warmth settle into the cold places Harlan had carved into her spirit. That evening, the nursery window. Maya stood at the window again, watching the newborns sleep peacefully. Their tiny chests rose and fell like small miracles. Priya approached with 2 coffees. "Mind if I join you?" Maya smiled faintly. "Please." They stood in silence a moment before Priya spoke. "So, how do you feel?" Maya exhaled. "Lighter. And heavier. At the same time." Priya nodded knowingly. "Justice feels like that." "It doesn't fix what he did," Maya whispered. "No," Priya agreed. "But it stops him from doing it again." Maya looked at the infants, glowing in soft light. "Maybe that's enough." Priya nudged her shoulder gently. "It's more than enough. It's survival. And it's victory." Side sunrise. Maya stepped out of the hospital into a fresh morning. The sky blushed gold and coral, lighting the world gently, offering a quiet reset. She drew a deep breath. The trauma hadn't vanished. The fight had left scars deeper than anyone would see. But she was still here, still standing, still delivering life into a world that desperately needed more of it. As she walked toward her car, a nurse called out behind her. "Hey, Maya." She turned. "You're the strongest person I know." Maya smiled, a real one, small but luminous. Strength hadn't felt like something she owned these past weeks. But maybe it was something she'd rebuilt, piece by fragile piece. She lifted her face toward the new day. She wasn't healed yet, but she was unbroken, and that finally was enough.